Leslie Wells, Connection Coach here. Time to talk about the DA and how they move through the 5 stages of a relationship as defined by Susan Campbell. So, in the very beginning stage, the romance stage, the dismissive avoidant is typically a little more reserved. They are not going to be as openly vulnerable. They're going to still value their autonomy and independence, so they may not want to spend a ton of time together. They still want to make sure that they have their own time to do their own thing. They may keep the relationship status unclear. They're not quick to move into any sort of commitment or to maybe introduce you to family or friends. They're going to be more emotionally reserved. They're going to be more focused on their own needs typically. And you probably should not expect big, grand gestures or declarations. They're not going to be really emotionally sappy or make really big, grand gestures to let you know how much that they care about you. They are going to keep things more fun and more light, more at a superficial level, and they're going to be slow to move the relationship along. And then whenever you get to the power struggle stage, when conflict starts to come up, you're going to see that they typically would prefer to avoid conflict. They're going to keep their emotions and feelings to themselves, or not going to readily necessarily express them even in times of conflict. They're going to still value their space and their autonomy, so they may back away or shut down during times of conflict or times where they feel like things are getting too intimate, too fast. They may shut down, pull away, need to take space. During conflict, they're going to want to regulate on their own versus co-regulate with you. They may feel criticized if you come to them with conflict or an unmet need. And they also are going to use logical reasoning rather than emotional connection to deal with issues. Their freedom may feel threatened, which may make them use or lead to them using deactivating strategies or distancing strategies. They may also feel trapped or stuck in the relationship as you're wanting to get more close to a committed relationship. That might make them feel trapped or stuck. And when you bring them problems, or you bring them what they feel is a criticism, or you bring them an unmet need, they may feel like they are a disappointment and they're not going to feel good about themselves because of that defectiveness wound that they hold inside as part of their core belief system. There are a lot of big changes for the dismissive avoidant that occur in the stability phase. This is where they're really trying to be more vulnerable, even when it's difficult with them, and they're trying to stay more engaged and participate in hard conversations, in conflict, in times where they would normally feel criticized. They're really trying to understand their partner's feelings better. And truthfully, they're trying to work on their own, because remember, they usually suppress their own feelings or shut them down. So not only are they working in this phase to understand and identify their own feelings and express them, they're also trying to get to a place where your feelings are not overwhelming them, or their partner's feelings are not overwhelming them, so that they can also show up for you for your feelings. They still value their independence and their space away from you and their autonomy. However, they are trying more to engage in more and better quality time or time with you, because they are starting to understand that that's a need that's important to their partner. With the commitment phase, like every other person, regardless of their attachment style in this phase, they choose their partner actively and consciously, and they make a choice that this is going to be the person that they're going to spend time with, and they're going to choose to stay committed to them and stay in this relationship with them. And so what that looks like is you'll hear them start to talk about long-term goals, whereas before that was difficult for them because commitment was very scary. They also will do better as far as really being present, engaged, learning about their own feelings, learning about your feelings. Despite any original ambivalence or uncertainty or doubt about the relationship, they have decided that they are going to be committed. And even if they have to revisit that doubt that pops up in their brain now and again, they've made a conscious effort to put that to the side and move forward and stay committed anyway, which takes a lot for them. In this phase, they're getting better at validating their partner's feelings, and they're more in tune to them. Whereas before, they were mostly focused on themselves and self-centered, because that's how they protected themselves. They would normally focus on, if they had to deactivate, going into their own hobbies or their own work, or basically things that made them feel good where they could avoid. At this point in time, they're emotionally attuned to you, and they're not just focused on ways that they can deactivate or that they can dismiss their feelings or yours. They really value the stability and security at this stage, and it's a really good feeling stage for them, because remember, they don't like conflict. And so at this stage, a lot of that conflict has been resolved as you figured each other out, and the DA has figured out how to show up better. And so for them, it brings a whole new sense of peace and stability that they really, truly appreciate. So going into the bliss stage, again, they really enjoy that peace because they do not like conflict. They have gotten to a place where they are really okay with intimacy and connection, and they are far more connected to their own feelings and yours. And they're to the point, like everybody else is in this stage, where they're ready to take the relationship outside of the relationship and do something better and give back to the world. So that's what it's like for a DA to go through the different stages, just the tip of the iceberg. If you are a DA or you're in a relationship with a dismissive avoidant and you want to get better at moving through these, or you're stuck in one of these relationship stages, give me a call. There's work that can be done, and you can become securely attached, or you can help your partner by showing up in your best possible way for them.